저번에 저희가 문화 차이에 대한 비디오를 찍다가 못 끝내고 에이미가 몰래 카메라를 했었는데, 오늘은 진짜로 영국과 한국의 문화 차이에 대한 비디오를 한번 찍어보려고 그래요. 진짜 오늘은 몰래 카메라 아니야? 진짜로?
응.
그러면 약속?
I don't know how to do it. I don't want to like just like say it's old people, but generally it is old people. Like, okay,
In Korea?
Yeah, in Korea. When I'm walking in the street, right, they just come and push me like from nowhere. Like I'm just standing here and I'm like, oh, someone's coming, and they're like, and I get hit by like a train. Like it's so powerful. Like their shoulders are made of steel. Like they're like, and they come towards me and knock me out the way. Even in stores, like I'll just be stood there waiting to pay for something, and suddenly, I'm like, what was that? And like it's some old woman pushing me or something. On the subway, they do the same. Like they're literally like bullets. Like they come and they just push me, and I'm just like flying everywhere. When I get onto the subway, they just stand. They just go on. Like it's even young people as well. They just zoom. I'm waiting to get off, and they don't give me a chance. How am I supposed to get off if you don't let me get off? If you're getting on, how can I step? I don't understand the logic. You've got to explain it to me, because in the UK, if this happens, it happens. Sure, some people are rude, some people are ignorant, but they're rude. Like we call them rude. But in Korea, we're just like, oh, what's wrong with that? It's normal. What are you talking about?
I think just we've been had this problem for a long time. Is why
in the UK, like if someone does this to me, I'm gonna argue with them. Like, what are you doing? Why are you touching me? But in Korea, like I was like, did you see what she did to me? And he's like, yeah. Why didn't you say anything to her? Oh.
Yeah, I think we've been having this problem for a long time. Is why. Like it's not only you, but also my friends and me. We always feel like not every like old people, but really some old people are very rude.
It's not even just some old people, there's some younger people as well are also doing, I think because they just see it and they just copy.
What they're like when you're queuing for getting on the train or something, they just
go in front of the queue, like they make their own queue.
Yeah. And okay, when you get on the bus, before you get on the bus or subway, you've got to wait until the people inside are coming out,
in
right?
The UK, yeah.
In Korea, you must do as well, but some people just.
Oh, it's a rule?
I mean, it's just like.
It's just common sense, right?
Yeah,
like,
common sense, like common manner or something. But they just get on before the people inside like get off. They just walk into the subway. I don't know why.
Something that really annoys me in Korea is when I'm eating in a restaurant, not all the time, but it has happened quite a few times. Like some people will be eating like on the other side of the restaurant, and their parents will like push their children forward and go practice English, go on, and like push them towards me, and the children will come up to our table like, hi, I speak English, like this, and I'm trying to eat a Whopper, like, and this child's trying to speak to me in English, and I'm like, what is going on? I'm not an English teacher, I'm just here minding my own business. Like maybe they have innocent intentions, but like let's just not do this when I'm eating. I mean, there's better ways to do this. Like
they even don't know you're English speaker.
I could be French, like, but the thing is, like, I would rather just someone like came up to me and was like, oh, hi, where are you from? Like, oh, are you here on holiday? Like this kind of thing. It feels a lot more welcoming. Like, oh, they're interested about me and not just want to practice their English. Like, I'm not just a Google Translate. Like, please just talk to me like a normal person, get to know me. Like a person in Lotte Mart did that to me when you were in the toilet. She came up to me and she was like,
you say you like her?
Yeah, I mean that's a good way of doing it. Like she came up to me and was like, hi, where are you from? And I said London. Oh, London, like I can speak a little bit of English. And then that was it. Oh, you're so pretty. And then she left. That was it. Like we spoke a little bit and she left. And
That's good.
Yeah, it was a good way to like speak or practice English with someone, or
Yeah.
just curiosity is fine, but just ask me respectfully.
And the Chinese restaurant.
Oh yeah, he was
Yeah.
like, "What is your name?"
Yeah.
I said Amy,
Where are you
and
from?
yeah, and he didn't understand, but he like helped, and
Yeah.
he didn't understand my English accent, obviously, and it was like nice and respectful, and they gave us free food.
Yeah.
If you're curious, just ask.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah.
If you see this face in Korea, just ask, where are you from?
Yeah.
Where is she from? And if she can speak English.
Yeah. Or just like, just assume everyone is just human. Don't just assume I'm American. But yeah, some people in Korea really nice. Like your grandma just spoke to me in Korean, and I was just like, I understand, but it like feels nice that someone just speaks to you like normally.
I really don't understand the tip culture in the UK. I don't know why we need to give tip.
Okay, no, you don't have to give tips. In America you do, but in the UK you don't have to. But generally, if you have a good service in a restaurant and the waitress was really nice, like made you feel comfortable, like it's not like you can leave like 50p, which is like, what is that in Korean, like 200? It's like nothing. Like,
yeah, but some restaurant.
if you can afford to go to a restaurant, you can afford to give a little bit more just to like make the staff like feel appreciated. If you were but sometimes when he was working at convenience stores, the customers would just give him the +1 item, and it made you feel like energized, like,
yeah,
and it made you feel good. Some people gave you like I shouldn't say this, should I? Some people gave you like tip, like money. I'll keep the money, and like actually I'm allowed to say that, am I?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Isn't it illegal?
Why is it illegal?
Because you got in trouble. Didn't you? If like you kept like the customer was like, oh, keep the money like for yourself, like here you go, like.
No, it's not illegal because it's actually tip.
Okay,
them.
well, you felt good, right? So, I mean, like, it shouldn't be compulsory, like, oh, you have to give tip, because not everyone can afford it, like, but if you can afford it, what's the harm?
But I feel like you need to give. You have to give.
Sometimes I feel like that too.
When you work in a restaurant, you might earn more money than like other people, because the thing I don't understand, you get paid by the restaurant and
But you don't get paid much.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, for most people, earning tips is how they like earn the most money, and it makes them want to work harder, because the more harder they work, the more tips they earn.
Then probably the restaurant owner earns a lot of money then.
But even in hair salons, don't you have it in Korea? You can leave tips for hair salons.
No, we don't.
You don't have that. In the UK, you leave a tip for hair salons. Like if you feel like the service is really good, you can leave like £1 or £2. Sometimes like if it's like £40 and sometimes if it's like £28 and you give them £30, you just say, oh, just keep the change, and they will just put it in a jar, like a tip jar. And when I used to work at the hair salon, at the end of the day, they would split it all and split between all workers. So the boss would get like 20%, and then I got like, I don't know, like 5%. Because she was actually doing hair. She was actually, I was just the assistant. I was just helping her, so I got less. But yeah, it really like made me feel good. Okay. So I think in a way it's good, but also not when it's compulsory. Since we're already talking about restaurant.
Yeah.
Restaurants in Korea are so mind-boggling. Like, I never know what to do. Some restaurants you walk in and you just sit down. Yeah. But some restaurants you just stand there and wait. Like, it's the same in the UK, but it kind of like gives you like it will say like, please wait until. But in Korea you don't know. You just like, do I sit down? Do I wait here? Like the cashier, there's a place where you pay.
Yeah.
You always walk up there at the end of the meal to pay.
Yeah.
But in the UK you sit at the table. Yeah. Like some places you do, or that's just my dad because he's fed up with waiting, so he just walks up. But like in Korea you walk up to the little stand and you pay there and then you leave. So it's really confusing. Like I never know what to do.
Isn't it better like
I think it's better because then you can pay when you're ready to leave.
Yeah.
But in the UK, sometimes they bring like the tray and you're not like ready to leave and you feel like you're getting kicked out in a way. But then sometimes they don't bring the tray for a really long time, so you're just sat there like, hello. And yeah, so I think in a way that's better, but it's really confusing when you go to Korea for the first time. Also,
Yeah.
sitting on the floor in Korea when eating at restaurants is really weird. Like taking off your shoes and sitting on the floor is something, I don't know, it's not comfortable for me. Like, because I'm Western, I'm not that flexible anyway, like compared to Korean people, and my parents wouldn't be able to do that. So if they only had that option, but in Korean restaurants you usually have two options, right? Sitting and sitting.
No, it's always different.
Some places are only.
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay, so that kind of restaurant my parents can't go to. I can't sit like that for 1 hour. It hurts my legs.
Never thought.
Especially like if I'm wearing a skirt. Like I think when we went with your parents,
yeah,
I was wearing like a dress and I didn't know we were gonna sit down like that. So I felt really uncomfortable like the whole time. But I mean like, it's something you can just like get around in Korea. Like you don't have to eat in these restaurants. There's other options. Oh yeah, okay, so in Korea, sharing meals is very common. But in the UK, we don't like share from one plate. We have like, if I order like fish and chips, it's coming to me and that's my fish and chips. You touch it, you die. Like if he orders a beef burger, it comes to him on a plate. And like in Korea you have it in some restaurants, but like in Italian restaurants, like that kind of place.
No. Like when you order pork cutlet, it's like a portion for yours, like you.
But some foods and most places are like shared.
Because you like when, okay, let's say we go to Korean barbecue restaurant, and you cook in the middle, and you get your own rice, and you share the food. So I think.
Yeah, but some people in Korea just aren't that considerate and they eat all the food. Like we've been to restaurants and people have just eaten everything and we hardly ate because we're not quick at eating. So in that situation, is it really fair? Even though you pay the same amount as everyone else?
Guess not.
Like that's why I would prefer like just have my own food and then, but like I mean like when we eat together by ourselves, I like it because it feels more like a, I don't know how to explain, like a
comfortable, like
it feels like more of like a, what's the word, like a, it feels like
home?
No, it feels like an activity. It feels more like an activity, like we're going to play games together, we're going to watch a movie together, we're eating together, not like separately. So like especially because we're eating the same food, we can talk about how the food tastes and like what is good. But if I got like a beef burger and he got like chicken, we'd be like, oh, this is really good, and then, oh, do you want to try something? But like because we're eating the same thing, we're like, wow, it's so good. So it feels more like better if you're on a date, I guess. But I don't like sharing with a lot of people because some people just like, they're going straight.
When you go to a restaurant, like, okay, some people eat really quickly, and when they're full and the other people are not full, then the full people, oh, just order more, like.
Yeah, but if I do that, I need to pay more.
No, they're gonna pay separately.
Oh, but I never
pay,
got
like, together.
I never got offered this. I have.
Probably you didn't like say you're not full.
Oh my! I didn't even get a chance. I blinked. The food was gone. The food was gone. Also, when we share food, I feel so guilty. Like if I eat too much, I'm so worried about. I'm so like observant what other people are eating. Like his mum will eat and she doesn't eat that much, so she eats like 2 like barbecue pieces and she sits there and I'm like, I'm so worried. What if I eat it all and then there's none for her? And like, you don't know how much people eat if you don't know them that well. Like I know you eat a lot, so I'm like, okay, he won't stop eating until nearly it's all gone, so I need to hurry up. But if someone else is slow, I don't know like what pace to go at. It's very hard to judge. Don't you feel awkward like sharing if you're with someone who you don't really know that well?
I do.
So I feel like it's good in a way if you're close to people, but in another way, it's kind of awkward. In some Korean restaurants, the chopsticks are under the table.
Yeah.
Which is mind blowing because, like, the first time we ate in a Korean restaurant, this guy's just like, and it comes out, and I'm like, what is that?
Isn't it
What?
very?
I wish we
Convenient.
had it, yeah, but I feel like people can't be trusted in the UK because they'll end up taking knives home. Like, it's not even a joke. People are so ridiculous. Some people steal, you know, the Nando's chicken.
Yeah.
The chicken stick that they come and collect to ask, like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
is your...
yeah.
They steal that and take it home
Why?
as a souvenir. Like, I went to Nando's, my Nando's chicken.
Okay, well, I wanted to ask you, how did you feel about the button, like calling the?
Oh,
what?
in the restaurant?
Yeah.
Craziness. We took my parents to a Korean restaurant in
Oh
Koreatown,
yeah.
and they had one. It worked, right?
Yeah,
She
it worked.
came.
It worked.
And they had like a beer one, drink one, and then just normal
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
And I told my parents what it's for, and they were like, no way does she know like what you're calling her for. So they used it for a drink, didn't they? To get coffee.
Yeah.
They used it for a drink, and she came along, which drink do you want? And they were like, what is going on here? What is this?
I haven't seen 3 buttons.
Really?
Yeah.
It was your first time? She had
Yeah.
3 buttons. She was on it. She
Really
knew what
crazy.
she was doing. Like, this crazy woman. But in like, this is crazy. Like, I don't understand why we don't have this.
I know.
It makes things so
like,
much easier.
You need to contact the workers.
You
eyes,
need to, yeah.
like,
You just need to,
like.
or like make it very
Yeah,
obvious.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if you're like sitting with the knife and fork, they won't come. You need to put it down,
Yeah,
push
yeah.
the plate back. You
Yeah.
need to be sat there like,
Yeah.
anyone gonna come?
Yeah.
It's so frustrating. And what was the other thing? Oh wait, in Korea you like just shout at them like, come here.
Oh yeah. Hello.
Yeah, but in the UK it's rude to do that. Like, yeah, in the
What
UK
about
it's
just
very
excuse
rude.
me?
Yeah, you can say like, excuse me, but you wouldn't. But you would have to wait until they walk past you. But in Korea you just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Why are we not talking about this? Korean delivery service is insane compared to the UK. Listen, we have argued with Uber Eats so many times in the UK. It's unreal. I had a 1-hour phone call with them because they literally didn't bring his meal. The whole meal, they just didn't bring it. And they tried to blame, okay, we ordered from McDonald's. They tried to blame McDonald's. It wasn't McDonald's fault because it wasn't on the receipt, but it was on the order history. So we just argued with them for 1 hour trying to get his meal sent to us. That's all we wanted, was just his meal to be sent to us. But they just offered a refund, but that's not the point. We have to pay for delivery fee again, blah, blah, blah. Just not worth the hassle. So, but in Korea, when you order, they give you free food sometimes if you leave a review.
Yeah.
Or if it's your first order, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
They also do like loads of like special events.
Yeah.
Like 50% off. Burger King did that once and it was crazy. We had to order at like 2 p.m. to get it.
I know.
And what else? The food always comes like hot, and if something isn't there, they're gonna bring it.
Yeah.
Like free of charge as soon as they can. And if something's wrong with the food, like we found a nose hair in my burger, they gave back the money and then offered us another meal for free when we ordered again. The difference is just what? But I feel like that's also because people in the UK can't be trusted, because in the UK they just claim something didn't come but it actually did, just to get money back. If you're Korean, please don't start lying about these kind of things. You have such a good system of trust. Don't lose the trust.
Such a struggle to order something in the UK. Really. When I first came to the UK, I came to Amy's house and I expect to take off my shoes, but
I just said to him, come on.
yeah,
like,
she didn't take off her shoes. What's going on? What? It's because I thought I need to take off, because in Korea we take off shoes before you get in the house, and it felt so weird. It felt so weird. Firstly, really, like I've never felt like that. I'm so dirty or something. And it's okay. So I wore the shoes in the house, and sometimes you and or your parents don't wear shoes.
No, please, no,
What?
please. I wear a slipper now, always. I
But
always wear.
in the past, her parents just wear without shoes. So basically, sometimes they wear shoes in the house, but sometimes they don't wear shoes in the house. So the socks get really dirty. So,
No, they don't even wear socks. My parents don't wear socks.
yeah, I know. So the thing I don't understand about the UK, the shoes culture, you wear shoes in your house, then you must wear like all the time, so your feet don't get dirty. Or if you don't want to wear, just don't wear at all, so your feet.
They just don't care like if their feet gets dirty. That's just the point.
I'll feel so like bad if my feet get dirty. It's outside, isn't it? You go like
Technically,
outside.
but some people wear no shoes outside, right? You do know this.
Really?
Yeah, like if they would just walk to the bin with no shoes.
Oh my. Never.
Seriously, some people.
Never heard.
No, seriously. I've seen people wear no shoes outside.
I mean, there's like, because you wear shoes, you go outside with
Oh,
wearing.
should we just show this? Okay. So the slippers I'm wearing right now, they're like 3 years old. I got them from Korea, and I've washed them 4 times since I've had them. I only wear them inside of the house, right? Oh my, this is so embarrassing. I only wear them inside of the house. I've never worn them outside, only in Korea the first time I bought them. But once I bring them home,
Oh my.
I haven't worn them outside. This is how dirty it gets. This is from wearing them inside my house. Only inside my house. Since I started dating him, I realized it's so disgusting and I don't understand. I have no words. I'm so embarrassed. Like, if I could change the way my parents did this, I would, but it's their like culture. I don't even know if it's a culture, like but it's I just wear my slippers and try to avoid the dirtiness. But yeah, it makes no sense. Like, I've got shoes in my wardrobe next door and they're all just chilling on the floor, and there's so much mud on the floor from when we go to walk in the park, and it makes no sense. But when we have our own house, that won't be happening.
Yeah.
The shoes are staying out. But also there's no room for shoes near the door.
I know, that's weird.
So I
as
feel
well.
like the way the house was built is the reason why we have no option. But a neighbor down there, because they don't wear, they're like a different ethnic background, I think.
Oh, yeah.
They're from like Middle Eastern countries. They don't wear their shoes inside, so because there's no room near the door, they leave their shoes outside the house. Would you do that? I don't think I can leave my shoes outside.
Yeah, not
I
outside.
could leave it near the, but they have no choice. Like, there's no room. So yeah, I think some people in the UK, they leave their shoes outside or put them in like a basket near the door. But there's not really any apartments where there's space like Korea. The bad thing about always speaking formally though is that you don't know when to switch to the friendly part. Like, it's like that weird part in between. You're like, are we friendly? Are we still formal? Like, what is going on? And it feels like I can't get close to people because I feel that kind of like barrier.
But at some point they say, oh, let's just be friends. Let's just
I've
like
never
talk.
had this.
Let's just talk informally. Like, at some point
I've
they
never
say,
had this.
really?
How long does it take?
Like if you're, it depends on which like who they are. But if you're like in the school or something, like a few hours.
What?
If you
The thing is, like, when something is so formal in a country, you kind of lose that like social interaction, because in the UK someone's like, oh, cheers mate, like, and you feel like close to people instantly. You feel like accepted in a way. I don't know how to explain it, especially as a foreigner. Like, if someone says to you like, cheers mate, you must feel like accepted. But like, it's kind of like hard to feel that in Korea when everyone's just like robots in a way. Like the way they speak are like robotic. Like there's like a certain way to speak, and it's kind of something I miss about the UK when I'm in Korea. Is like just like someone walks up to you like, oh, I really like your hair or something like that. Like it's just like nice. Maybe it happens. Maybe just because I'm a foreigner, it doesn't happen to me. But has anyone ever come up to you like, oh, nice t-shirt or something?
One time there was a grandma, and she saw my head and oh, nice shave. Really? Oh, really? It was such a good shape of head. What?
Is that even a compliment? Like,
I don't know.
I'm gonna cry.
I don't know why she said that.
Stop.
The one thing I hate about the UK is the transfer system. Is so bad.
Disgusting. You mean like the transfer, like as in money, like the payment?
Just
Or you mean in general, like everything's bad?
everything is bad.
Okay, got it.
The good thing is they have like the double deck bus,
Yeah.
red double deck bus. That's it.
Our pride.
Except that, I guess there are only bad things. Let's say you take this bus, yeah, it's going, and oh, you need to transfer to another bus. So you get off of the bus, and get on the another bus. It's free.
It's free in the UK too.
No, listen.
No.
Okay, listen.
This is such a bad example.
No, listen,
This
okay?
is-
No, listen. So you got on the bus, and oh, you need to transfer to subway this time. Yeah? So you get off of the bus and you take the subway. It's free again.
Yeah.
Yeah? How convenient. There's even Wi-Fi in subway.
But also that's such a bad thing because
Yeah.
whenever we're on the Korean subway, everyone's just on their phone and they just don't look where they're going. And like if that wasn't a thing, they might be reading a book, they might be looking around. Like they already spend so much time on their phone. Why do they need it when they're on the subway as well? I mean, like, yeah, in a way it's good because if you don't know where you're going, you can search. If you're contacting someone, I'm nearly there, it's good. But also, the Koreans really need that. Do you really need more internet?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's very cheap.
It's like 70p, right? £1? £1. Let's just say £1 because even £1 is so cheap. Like, it's so cheap to go from here to here.
Yeah.
We want to go out every day because like it's so cheap, and even I just thought something else. Okay, it's so cheap, and we always want to go out in Korea because it's so cheap. But in the UK, it's so expensive, and every bus stop and subway station underground is so far from where we live.
Yeah.
Like in Korea, it's just like around the corner, like a 5-minute walk. In the UK, you need to walk like 20 minutes to get to a train station, or even there's no underground near me.
Yeah.
Like we have to take a bus to get to a subway, which means taking a bus, which is £1.50, then getting on the subway underground, and that can cost up to like £4. It depends on how far you go or which zones you're traveling in is how much it costs, and it literally costs us like £7 to get to central London in 30 minutes. £7, and then back again. I think it caps at like £12, so to get there and back it would be like £12, which is just insane for one day.
And the thing is, bus in the UK is so slow.
Oh, but also that's a bad thing. In Korea, I nearly die from the buses.
Listen. I haven't finished.
Oh my god.
Bus is so slow, so bike is quicker. It shouldn't happen like that.
Listen, your bus nearly killed me. There's a reason why you can't have drinks on your buses, and that's why, because they're so dangerous. Listen, the guy nearly flung me out his door. I was getting ready to get off the bus and touch the little... What's this thing called?
NFC?
No, what's the...
T-money?
T-money card, and as he's pulling up to the stop, he flings open the door. I go like this, and I nearly fell down the steps.
No, sometimes it happens in the UK.
Oh my, no, but there's no steps to fall down. In Korea, it's so easy. Well, I mean, only if you're living like in a big city, I guess, to hire bikes and use them. And when we were living in Korea, we bought like for 1 month, it was like £5 for 1 hour every day, right? The rental bike, and we used it literally nearly every day, like 4 times a week. And we found out near to the end of our little subscription thing that it was like 1 hour, then you'd put it back and then get 1 hour again, right? Because we didn't realize that. We were like, oh, it's 1 hour per trip. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like you put it back,
maybe,
and when we got it back, it was, I think maybe it was like every 2 hours or 1 hour or so. I don't know, but when I put mine back, I did it again like 1 hour later, and I got 1 hour again. So I don't know how it works completely, but it's so good. And especially because where we were living, there was like a bike path.
Yeah.
And we always went and drove there, and we saw stray cats and fed the stray cats. Actually, we should talk about the stray cats and the stray dogs in Korea. There are so many stray cats, like homeless cats, homeless dogs. Not like in your city.
Not dogs. I haven't really seen dogs.
My friend said that she saw dogs.
Oh.
She sees a lot of dogs where she lives.
Oh.
And she said that her boyfriend like feeds them a lot, and like old people get angry like because they don't like feeding the stray dogs.
I know.
And you even told me, because I bought food from Daiso to feed them.
Yeah. What?
Why did you keep practicing your bones? Oh.
I bought food for the stray cats, and I was feeding them, and you were like, be careful because people might get angry. And I was like, what do you mean they might get angry? I'm feeding homeless animals. And yeah, that was a culture shock to me, because I don't know how you can get angry. I mean, in the UK we have like foxes and mice. I mean, we saw mice in Korea as well, like they were just running around. But yeah, we have foxes and mice, and they're kind of like pests, and squirrels. Some people think squirrels are like pests, and some people like kill them. But I mean, the only reason why the foxes are pests to my family is because they rip open our trash and it comes out because they're looking for food. But like sometimes we feed them on purpose because like they're still animals, like they're just trying to survive like everyone else, and it's not right to kill them or get angry. If someone wants to feed them, just think of it as like they're doing it and they won't come and pester you for food. But I mean, I guess the reason why they might be angry is that they're going to breed more and it gets worse. Basically, there's loads of stray cats and dogs in Korea, and in the UK there's not that many.
To be honest, I don't know which one is stray cat.
There's so many cats just roaming.
Yeah.
Usually if you see a cat, it belongs to someone in the UK. Like there are some cats that live around here and we know where they belong to. I've never seen a cat and been like, oh, where do you live? You must be stray. I've never seen this kind of cat. So it was really shocking, and I felt so bad for the cats. In Korea, the price of ingredients is so expensive. Why are you laughing?
Because I know.
Like, it's just so expensive. Like, vegetables are so expensive, but in the UK, you can get onions for like 15p, like 1 onion. Like, actually, I think onions are quite cheap in Korea, but like meat and just like sauces, stuff like that.
Fruits.
Yeah. Oh my god, fruit is so expensive. I don't know why it is. Yeah, fruit is really expensive. In the UK, you can get like a box of strawberries for £3, £2, and in Korea they're like
7, 6
pounds.
Yeah.
Oh lord. But in Korea, the restaurants are so cheap, and in the UK, restaurants are so expensive. So, I mean, in a way, it's nice that you can go out more in Korea and eat, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of sad that you can't really cook freely what you want to. Like, we never bought beef in Korea. We never. because it was just too
Yeah.
expensive. We never bought like raw meat. We bought like frozen pork cutlet and mainly just went out to eat. Like we couldn't afford to cook, or we just ate like spam and. Oh, actually, your mum gave you the spam, which is the only reason why we ate spam.
Spam is so expensive.
Yeah, and she even gave us some like vegetables like and fruit. We could not even like afford that much to buy in supermarkets. It was just like crazy, like
Yeah.
the difference.
People say in the UK food is expensive, but it's only when you eat in restaurant. If you cook
It's so
by
cheap.
yourself, it's so cheap.
Like if you ever come to the UK, go to a UK supermarket and see how cheap food is. Don't go to Marks and Spencer's or Waitrose because you're gonna be confused. Or Sainsbury's. Go to like Tesco or Asda's, Lidl or something like that. Dating differences.
What, they go Disneyland and
No,
Korean
no.
people go to Lotte?
No, the dating differences.
Mm.
Like you wear couple clothes, which is not something we do here.
Yeah.
Like it's really cool in Korea. You can see like who's a couple, and couple rings don't exist. Like if I see a guy with a ring, that means he's married, and that means you stay away. But in Korea, you see a guy with a ring, it just means he has a girlfriend. In Korea, couples like generally like are more playful. Like they'll be like laughing more, giggling more, like hitting each other like this. And then like in the UK, if you see they're like on a date, all they do is kiss, and it's so uncomfortable for everyone. And I feel like in Korea that's like kind of like people don't really like that.
In public, if you
Yeah, they're like.
yeah.
But also I'm like that. I feel like it's just so awkward. Like, just stop kissing like right in front of me. But yeah, in Korea I think I prefer it because people are more respectful in that way.
When the outside turns dark, you can't go out. I mean, we haven't actually been out when it's dark.
We have.
I mean, no, you don't go out when it's dark.
Oh, like once you're inside
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
turns. I mean, I think that's just me because
Oh,
I
really?
know a lot of like younger people go out specifically when it gets dark. But I mean, like,
But it's like you don't recommend that. It's so dangerous, isn't it?
like yeah, I wouldn't personally do it. I know a lot of my family and friends wouldn't do it either because it is kind of like dodgy, and generally like the day ends when it gets dark. But for like some people in Korea, that's like just midday for them. They're like, it's only halfway, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Like,
Like except like central London, like you know, like the side of London is quite dangerous, isn't it?
yeah, like the surrounding areas
Yeah.
of London, yeah, are
When you
kind
go
of dangerous.
outside.
Yeah,
nighttime.
there are just a lot of like trouble, and you know, just better to stay indoors.
Yeah.
There's
But-
and
yeah.
things close early, so there's no point going out.
Mm.
Tesco closed at 10 p.m. Some of them close at like 6 p.m. There's no point going out. Where are you gonna go? Unless you're gonna go clubbing, there's nowhere to go. So
Yeah, the difference is in the UK at nighttime you usually stay in your home, but in Korea when you go outside at nighttime there's so many things to do.
yeah,
Cinemas until like 3 a.m. Really, PC room,
all day,
yeah, all day. Convenience store all day. Some like alcohol place
all
all
day.
day.
Some
Oh.
restaurant all day.
Yeah.
Oh, and karaoke room all day.
Yeah, so there are so many things to do in Korea at nighttime. Also, you know, in the UK there are like residential area.
Hmm.
There's nothing to do near the area, but in Korea, I live here and there's a PC room, there are cinemas, like a lot of restaurants around here. There's so
Yeah.
many things to do near where you live. But in the UK,
You have to travel
yeah,
to go
travel.
somewhere. The really good thing about Korea is that you can easily go somewhere. Like,
Mm.
I could go to the supermarket in the UK, it would take me like 3 hours, but in Korea it would take me like 1 hour and a half. Like, go there and come back home, and then I still have time to go out again. What? In the UK, if I go somewhere, that's my whole day
Yeah,
planned.
yeah.
And it's just so like convenient. Like, everything is around you, like doctor surgeries, hospitals, like everything, like vets, everything's like around you. There's nothing,
I
like,
know.
you don't really need to travel to the other side of the city unless you're looking for something like specific, like a skateboard. You don't need to travel anywhere, and it's really nice. Like, we can get so much done in one day in Korea, but in the UK we need like a week to do what we can do in one day in Korea. Like, things are so fast paced, and when I'm living in the UK, I'm like a slow paced person. Like, I don't really want to go out. Like, it just feels like a big effort to go somewhere. But in Korea, I'm very fast paced. I'm like, let's go here, and then let's go here, and then let's do this, and then let's do that. Like, I'm very like, let's go everywhere, let's do this, because everything feels possible. It doesn't feel like a chore, it feels like fun.
Mm.
And like, it's just, yeah, I feel like quality of life is more better in Korea in some ways, but obviously in the UK we have bigger houses, gardens.
Yeah.
Like, some people live in apartments, but like right now we have like a nicer house than what Korea would have.
Yeah.
In a way. I mean, like, my house is really old, but like still,
Garden.
your garden, front garden, loads of bedrooms. Like, it's nice to feel like have a house, a home, instead of like a room in a building. So that's kind of like, I don't, when I was staying at your home, it didn't feel like a home, because to me a home is like a house.
Mm.
And it was like very, like, Korean apartments are very like spacious, like very white, very,
Yeah.
and you don't really own that many things.
Yeah. You like kind of empty.
Empty,
Yeah, being
plain,
empty, yeah.
like, it feels very cold because it's so empty, and not that many furniture. You don't have that many furniture. Like,
Yeah. I think so.
your grandma did.
She's old, is why.
Yeah, I should probably be collecting them her
Yeah.
whole life.
I think Korean people just like tidy things. Like,
Yeah, but I like that also. But I also like feeling like a home.
So if they can, they like to hide things. Like, let's say like, underneath your bed there's a drawer you can put
Yeah, we
clothes.
also have that, but it's full.
Oh.
I think like, it's nice. I want that kind of house, but I want it to feel comfortable, like a British house. There's just something about a British house that makes you feel like home.
Yeah. I think for young people, like younger people, Korea might be better than
In their younger years,
yeah.
and then maybe move to like a Western country. I don't know if it's the same, but UK definitely feels like somewhere I want to live when I get older.
Yeah.
It feels like slow
Chill.
paced and
Yeah.
yeah, like a
Just home.
haven for old people.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Korea, there's a seat on subways for pregnant women, and there's so many pregnant seats that I don't think they need that many pregnant seats. Like,
I think there are like
2 per carriage.
yeah.
Like, it's too many in my opinion. Like, you need more for like disabled people, I would think, or like elderly people. And you said like when your friend sat in the seat, he got sent like a picture or something, like,
yeah.
this seat is for women, like on airdrop, like, was it?
Yeah, airdrop.
Yeah, and like they send pictures like this seat is for women, and he didn't even realize he was sitting in the seat.
Yeah.
So I feel like this kind of thing isn't good. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, the pregnant seats are also combined with elderly and disabled seats in the UK. Like, they're all one.
Do you have disabled seat?
Yeah,
But you don't have pregnancy seat.
we do. It's combined with that. It's all like same seats.
But I know. But we have pregnancy
no,
seat
we don't
and
have separate. Is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I think pregnancy should be also with the elderly section.
Can I ask you something? Do you have for women parking space or something?
What?
Like, okay, let's say you go like Tesco or you
No,
go
no, no, no. What is this?
you go like park somewhere.
What is this?
There's a parking space
Yeah.
only for women.
Why?
Don't know. To be honest, we still have so many things to talk about.
Yeah.
Just for now, we've talked for so long. The video is
Probably like
about
2 hours long by now.
1 hour, 2 hours. So we got to stop here, and when we have more cultural differences, we will.
You know what? We should make one in like 1 year's time, because by then we'll be living in Korea. There's probably going to be so many more things that we discover. Some people ask me how it's possible that we date with so many cultural differences between us. Like, isn't it hard? Like, oh, you must argue a lot. How do you understand each other? At first, it was really hard, right? Like, we always argued. We never understood each other.
Yeah.
Like, but over time, we adapt to each other, and we changed like how we did things, and now we have like our own culture.
Mixed culture.
Yeah, we have our own little culture of like what works for us, and we haven't even like probably seen every part of each other's culture yet. So there's going to be more things in the future that we need to like figure out. But as of now, we've got a good system.
We still fight because of cultural differences.
But like, it's not like, I mean, every couple fights, and
but we still don't understand some
things are just what is this part? Why does this happen? It makes no sense. But like, we just let them get on with it. Like, it's their culture, whatever. Like, why does it affect me? I mean, if it's gonna affect me, that's when we need to talk about it, because that's when, like, if it's gonna affect you personally, like my culture is gonna affect you, then we need to talk about how to adapt, or how to like
overcome.
Give and take. Like, we need to like share, we need to like understand each other. But yeah, that's how we deal with cultural differences.
For today, this is it, and if you enjoyed the video, press the subscribe button. Right? Did I say right?